Superfood for me is a completely new way of thinking. It's a revolution in my life, and I know it's going to be one in your life. It's not just about kale and quinoa, it's about cooking smart with simple ingredients. Making the most delicious, nutritious food doesn't have to be about faddy, fashionable ingredients. You can make them from things that are around you. It's just how you put them together. To inspire you to create nutritious recipes that your family will love to eat, I'm going to take you around the world to explore some of the healthiest cuisines on the planet. Kimchi! Woo! Now you're flirting with me. Where families eat simple, healthy diets. What more do you want? Loads of family, friends, good food. And live long, I'm absolutely speechless, and active lives. From Alpine Switzerland, not like the lakes where I come from. I mean, I'd drink that. To the amazing flavours of South Korea. All I can tell you is it's bloody delicious. And the stunning island of Sardinia. I want to pick the plate up and hug it. So good. Inspired by what I've learned, I'm going to show you new and ingenious ways to give a superfood twist to your family's favourite dishes. From breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're going to love it. Oh, I don't want you to eat healthy food because you have to. I want you to eat it because it's delicious. Superfood shouldn't be pretentious. It's about putting together everyday ingredients and creating something delicious, nutritious, and super healthy. Tonight, I'm heading to 2 countries where people live some of the healthiest lives to find out what superfoods they're eating and how we can get them into our lives. Conch is amazing. It's like a slightly more firm scallop. On the volcanic island of Jeju in South Korea, the local 80-year-olds let me into a little secret of their healthy lives by free-diving for nutrient-rich seafood superfoods. Normally it's about the young ones looking after the old ones, but it's completely the other way around today. In Switzerland, I find out why we should all be eating at least 1 apple a day. We better feed this one before he breaks the whole place down. And the pectin-packed apples get the juices flowing for a brilliant family favourite with a twist. As far as meatballs go, they're really, really good. But first, a family classic breakfast that you will not believe oozes superfood with every bite. Guys, you are going to love me for this one. I've taken one of the most delicious but totally unhealthy things in the world, donuts, and I've given it the superfood treatment. And look at these beauties, packed with vitamin C-rich blueberries, yoghurt containing calcium, and iron-rich wholemeal flour, packing 1 of your 5 fruit and veg a day for just 361 calories a portion. You're going to love it, so come and have a look at this. So we're going to go in with 200 grams of flour, self-raising flour, but I've split it 50-50. I'm using 100 grams of white to keep the donuts light, and 100 grams of wholemeal to contribute to the fibre we all need every day. So that simply goes into a food processor with 1 egg, so brilliant source of protein. And another great protein source are almonds. 30 grams are going in, along with 100 grams of dates. I've gone for medjool dates, which you can pick up from most supermarkets. So what I want to do with the recipe is, take things like just white sugar, which is empty calories, but we like sweet, and swap it for medjool dates. Add 70 ml of water, a pinch of salt and pepper, and then whiz it all up for a few seconds. The medjool dates give it an amazing colour, caramelly colour, which we like. It's so important to have a good breakfast, guys, and research has shown that kids who have a healthy breakfast are more likely to do well at school, but 1 in 7 still skip it. I've rolled the dough into a sausage shape and divided it into 4 equal parts. Imagine being a kid on a Saturday morning and Dad goes, "Do you want donuts for breakfast?" They're going to go mad, right? And don't worry about the kids, how about the adults? Next, I'll fill a pan with boiling water. Traditionally, of course, a donut would be deep fried, okay? So that's going to be really, really unhealthy. So we're going to poach it. After 5 minutes, put the donuts to one side and pour away the water. Then put the pan back on the heat. Going to go in with extra virgin olive oil, 1 tablespoon. And that's just enough to get a gorgeous golden outer crust, okay? So just a minute or so later, we can turn this over. Look at that, guys. Now for the blueberries. 320 grams, fresh or frozen. And like all purple or blue fruits, they contain anthocyanins, which some say play a role in reducing our risk of cancer and heart disease. And then I'm just going to use a tiny amount of honey, a teaspoon. Look. After a few minutes, the blueberries will have broken down to a sticky, jammy consistency. Finish them off with 4 tablespoons of Greek yogurt, which helps to get calcium in there and is a nice creamy texture. Oh, look at that. That's ridiculous. Oh, come on. Who said healthy food has to be boring? This perfectly balanced breakfast is only 361 calories a portion and packed with vitamin C from the blueberries. What's not to love? It's delicious. You've got to try it. For all recipes, go to channel4.com/Jamie's Superfood. This week I'm heading to the island of Jeju, off the southern tip of South Korea, to discover how the sea plays a big part in providing food for some of the most spectacularly healthy people on the planet. On this small island, the women are some of the healthiest in Korea. Annyeong, asayo. Hi ladies. Come in. How are you? Wow, okay. So this is a real honour for me. These lovely ladies are known as the mermaids of the sea. Beautiful. You pronounce it Haenyao. And they average the age of 65 to 85. And they're really strong, really fit. They take weights on and they go catch fish. On Jeju Island, some 4,500 women, like these, dive for shellfish, part of a tradition dating back to the 17th century. Ladies, what are we catching today? Now, they might not sound like superfoods, but they're packed with nutrients we should all be getting more of. OK, ladies, I'm going to get changed. I'll see you out there. Every week of the year, the ladies take to these treacherous waters, and they're officially pensioners. Wow, these girls are absolutely amazing. Normally it's about the young ones looking after the old ones, but it's completely the other way around today. These girls go out for hours at a time, and I've only been in the water for 10 minutes, and I'm already finding it hard going. The rips are quite strong, it's really cold. And they're going sort of 15 feet down here. Apparently they can go up to 20 metres down, but I mean, that's just nuts. They're light and foraging. Seaweed, beautiful little conches, abalone, got sea urchins, all sorts. Anyway, we're going to go in now, because we've got loads of stuff. See if we can get a cup of tea. South Koreans are the 6th biggest fish eaters in the world. And the vitamins and minerals they're getting from their fresh seafood from a young age are part of the reason why they're so healthy. This is what makes Korea tick. They love this. Half of it's raw, half of it's steamed. And everything in front of us was in the sea 20 minutes ago. Abalone, we're going to go in for this. Sea cucumber. Gee whiz. Tastes amazing. Very fresh, minerally. That'll keep you healthy. That'll make you live forever. Conch is amazing. It's like a slightly more firm scallop. Very, very good. Delicious. Okay, so what can we learn from this incredible experience? Well, first of all, love your seafood, your shellfish. Until there, how do we say it? Chigara! I don't know what that means, but I'm going to say it. Chigara! In my superfood day, shellfish is definitely one of my hero ingredients. So guys, I've got an amazing dish that celebrates one of my favourite shellfish, mussels. The question is, what are we going to do with it? How are we going to kind of leverage this incredible food to get in your tummy in style? I've got the answer. What I'm doing for you here is my superfood take on mussels with pesto and veg on toast. Packing in 3 of your 5 a day and just 471 calories per portion. I believe there's millions of you that love pesto, and most of you are buying them in jars, which means you don't know pesto. If you like it now, you don't know how much you're going to love this. I've written this recipe so you guys can go and smash it in seconds, and it really is this easy. Basil, rip, food processor, packet, almonds. Most packets are 100 grams, in. Pine nuts, 100 grams, packet, in. Parmesan, 200 gram chunk. 2 cloves of garlic, go in. Food processor, wazz it up. It smells amazing. We're making enough here for 16 portions. In goes 100 ml of cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil, full of good fats. Balancing that, the juice of a lemon to add acidity. This is going to be fresh and clean. It's going to be like $1,000,000. It's going to be so damn good. And as you can tell, I'm quite excited. Give it one last blitz until it's a fine consistency, and we're done. Remember, in the wonderful world of superfood, yes, it's about going to the market, the supermarket, cooking from fresh, but we're all really busy, right? Your freezer is your best friend. Pour your pesto out onto a sheet of greaseproof paper. Roll it up into a sausage shape, and then into the freezer it goes. So after about an hour, when the pesto there is firmed up, I just cut through it, and that's portion control, and then I put it back in the freezer. And then whenever you come back to it to do any kind of meal, you just basically take your slice of pesto. To get your veg intake up, we're using 200 grams of cherry tomatoes, 160 grams of fresh or frozen peas, and finally, 200 grams of courgettes, thinly sliced. So we're getting 3 of your 5 fruit and veg a day in one dish. To a hot dry pan, add your fresh mussels. Along with all that beautiful veg, 2 portions of your pesto and a splash of water. Simple. Magic will happen very, very quickly. Give it a shake. It's kind of done. You know when the mussels are done, when they've opened. Look at that. Time to plate up this beauty of a superfood family dish. Delicious. That's so good. This is what superfood is all about, guys. It's about quick, delicious, fun, accessible, healthy food. And all for 471 calories per portion. This superfood day is shaping up nicely. Coming up, I head to Switzerland to find out about a surprising alpine superfood ingredient. So here you've got the grated apples, whole apples, dried apples, the juice. Do your kids enjoy apples every day? Yeah. And inspired by my trip, I cook up a family favourite, delicious meatballs. To be given a dish like this that feels naughty and is actually really, really good for you and your family and your friends, happy days. Let's have it. Superfood is nothing new. It's been around for hundreds of years. It's about cooking smart with simple foods that are nutritious and delicious. I'm cooking up a day's worth of delicious, perfectly balanced family favourites. So far in our superfood day, we've had decadent blueberry donuts for breakfast, mussels with pesto and veg for lunch. The next stop on my journey to find out what some of the healthiest people in the world are eating takes me to Switzerland. I'm visiting an area north of Zurich known as Ciderland. Apples grow best in a temperate climate away from the sea, which is just what this part of landlocked Switzerland provides. I've come to meet premier apple grower Michael Lanehard and his family to find out the secrets of apples. So how many trees have you got here?
1 Hektar haben wir da. Das sind etwa 3000 Bäume, die wir da gepflanzt haben. 20 verschiedene Sorten haben wir da gepflanzt.
Michael's the 4th generation of his family to grow apples, so he knows his stuff. So in your opinion, what do you think the key is to the perfect apple?
Perfekte Äpfel ist eigentlich der Äpfel, wo Fruchtsüße und Fruchtsäure gemischt ist, wo viel Aroma hat, wo wenn er reif ist, saftig ist.
The Swiss are the 3rd biggest apple eaters in the world, and part of the reason could be down to one man, Maximilian Bircher-Benner, a nutritionist born in 1867. He claimed to have cured himself of jaundice by eating raw apples and combined them with muesli to create Bircher muesli, a breakfast dish still popular today. How are you, Annie? Lovely to see you. And it's this nutrition-packed meal that helps Michael and his family get apples into their diet. Which apple is this?
Das ist ein Breibern.
Braeburn.
Braeburn, genau. Das ist von unserem Hof, den machen wir selber.
Ja.
Das ist eine Sorte von 5 verschiedenen, wo wir hier das Müsli erraffeln. Wir nehmen die süße Sorte wie der Gala. Das ist Topaz, das ist eine andere Sorte, ein Suri. Und wir eins Müsli raffeln.
Yeah. We better feed this one some Bircher before he breaks the whole place down. Are you all right, mate? Are you all right? No, are you going to go and get Daddy?
Danke.
It's Bircher time, I think. Traditional Bircher muesli is made by soaking oats overnight in water and then adding sweetened condensed milk and 2 whole apples. Anita's family version, however, is made using oats, yoghurt, strawberries and grated apple. And it beats shop-bought muesli any day of the week. What's interesting as well is you don't really need to sweeten it with anything when you're grating the apple, because you're really exposing those natural sugars. It's so good, so good. Do your kids enjoy apples every day?
Jeden Tag. Jeden Tag essen bei uns alle. Und ein Birchenmüsli zum Morgen.
I think it's fantastic that the humble apple is so highly regarded in the wonderful world of nutrition. Of course, you want to eat it whole. You want to get that skin and all the good stuff. But it's the perfect snack. It's portable and it's bloomin' delicious. There's so many varieties. So get out there and buy some, because we're not eating as much as these guys. In my superfood day, the apple is definitely a hero ingredient. So an apple a day really could keep the doctor away, and I'm going to use apples in the next recipe with one of their best mates, Paul. This family favourite dinner of pork meatballs, apple gravy, protein-packed cannellini beans and fibre-rich oats will fill you full of the good stuff for just 591 calories per serving. Traditionally, minced meat dishes, you know, meatloaf, burgers, meatballs, are kind of around 15 to 20% fat, and we want to kind of take it from an indulgent dish that's gorgeous, of course, to something that's superfood friendly. Slice your 450 grams of pork fillet into chunks. Add a 400 gram tin of drained cannellini beans, great for packing in protein and fibre into your day. It's really good at stretching meat, and it's a great carrier of flavour, and it makes the meatballs light and delicious. Add 50 grams of oats. These whole grain beauties are good for your heart, lowering your blood pressure and keeping your cholesterol levels healthy. Add half a bunch of mint to the mix, and finally a teaspoon of whole grain mustard. And we'll whiz that up. I just want to pulse it. I don't want this to be a puree, okay? Pulse, 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 keep an eye on it, and once it kind of looks like a nice coarse mincemeat, we're ready to go. And I'm happy with that. This amount of mixture should give you 20 meatballs, about the size of a ping pong ball. For me, this is where superfood comes into its own, because it's a way of thinking, it's a way of putting things together. It's about it being guaranteed safe, good. What does good look like? So for me, to be given a dish like this that feels naughty and is actually really, really good for you and your family and your friends, happy days. Let's have it. Get your pan on a medium-high heat, add a tablespoon of olive oil and throw in 4 of your meatballs. Let's break it up. Beautiful. I'm going to make what they would call in America a dirty style gravy. Now don't be put off by the name. What it means is putting mincemeat into the gravy so it's got true flavour and it's a bit gnarly and rustic. I love it. Get 2 red onions, peel them, quarter them, and they're going in the pan. Give the pan a little shake. Beautiful. Next, 2 apples. Cut them into quarters and core them, but don't peel them. That's where the best stuff is. With the apples, obviously, we've got those pectins that are so fantastic at controlling your cholesterol, which is great. Add the apples to the pan, and after a couple of minutes, once they've softened up a bit, it's time to add a really strong flavour hit. We're going in with Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon. Then we're going to go in with mustard, a nice heaped teaspoon of whole grain mustard. Add 2 tablespoons of wholemeal flour, which carries almost 3 times the fibre of white. Season it up, and then you want a litre of good quality chicken stock and bring it to the boil. You can see it's all thickening and starting to look gorgeous. Now is the time to just plop those lovely shiny balls into that lovely gravy. Pop in the oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. Then take them out and grate over 30 grams of cheddar, enough to add flavour without maxing out on fat. And then I'm going to use these beautiful seeded wholemeal buns. After 3 more minutes back in the oven, it's ready. So guys, look at that. Come and have a look. This is a real family classic. So let's just plate up a portion. Get the nice roll in there. Just tear that open. To finish this off, I've got a lovely simple salad of rocket, watercress and fresh mint, all dressed with lemon juice. Let's get in there. Let's have a little go. Look at that. Gorgeous. The harmony of the onions and the apple is brilliant. As far as meatballs go, they are really, really good. Go and have a go at those. So there you have it. A whole day's worth of nutritionally balanced dishes, all for under 1,500 calories. Deliciously decadent, healthy donuts for breakfast. Those gorgeous mussels with homemade pesto for lunch. And for dinner, pork meatballs with apple gravy. But it's not just about calories, guys. It's about eating well and filling up on the good stuff. That's superfood. Next time, a trip to Sardinia to celebrate all things citrus inspires a zingy salad sensation. Absolutely delicious. Salads definitely don't need to be boring. And I use some vitamin-rich mushrooms to create an extraordinary superfood chicken curry. This could give Thai green curry a real run for its money.
Monday from 8 on Channel 4. Food in the most remote and spectacular corners of planet Earth. Extreme effort to find the world's finest ingredients. Next tonight, what effort to get Paul Rudd on board. Travel man in Helsinki with a massive funny movie star. Richard Ayoade. Pretty impressive.